Robert Charles was born in 1865 in a small place called Copiah County, Mississippi. He was the son of Jasper and Mariah Charles, two former slaves that had been freed. Located 30 minutes south of the more famous city of Jackson, Mississippi, Copiah was unlike most places in Mississippi. Poor white people and black people socialized and coexisted peacefully. They learned how to come together and vote for politicians that would actually help them. Until 1883. That year, the connection that poor whites and blacks had built was destroyed. A racist white mob assassinated the Copiah County Sheriff, John Prent Matthews, a white man who advocated for black rights. The county's white Democratic Party rioted, beating and killing black people for 3 days after that. With all of that chaos, Robert left for opportunity and found himself in New Orleans, Louisiana. At the time, New Orleans was a beautiful city known for its port and Spanish architecture. In the year 1900, the state population was 47% black, with over 650,000 black residents. Only 5,000 of them had the ability to vote. New Orleans had done well in terms of white people and black people living together. The port created enough jobs for black and white people to work together and create a union. They were successful for 15 years until March 9, 1895, when a racist white mob attacked black dock workers, killing 6 of them and wounding countless others. After that, New Orleans remained racially tense and difficult for black people. During this time, Robert began following the preachings of a bishop by the name of Henry Nat Turner, a black bishop from South Carolina that preached black people should go to Liberia, the nation that was purchased by the United States for black people to get away from America. Robert was a believer of all that Bishop Turner spoke. In 1899, a black man named Sam Hughes killed his white boss in self-defense after his boss attempted to shoot him for taking off work. A racist newspaper began circulating articles that Sam had raped his boss's wife and children before killing him. This was proven false, but it did not stop the white mob from taking Sam from police custody, cutting off his arms, legs, and genitals, removing the skin from his face, and burning him alive. Witnessing the lynchings that were occurring nationally, Bishop Turner began preaching that black people should defend themselves against racists, and with the nation rising in tension, Robert acquired weapons and ammunition in fear of one day having to protect himself. On July 23, 1900, in New Orleans, Louisiana, Robert Charles and his friend Leonard Pierce were sitting on a friend's porch in a predominantly white neighborhood when 3 white police officers arrived claiming they received reports of 2 suspicious Negroes. At this time, members of the KKK and police were many of the same individuals, and their goal was to keep blacks and whites separated. After briefly questioning the 2, one of the police officers pulled out a billy club and began beating Robert, which led to a fight between the 2. The officer did not expect Robert to fight back, nor for him to be so strong. The officer pulled his gun and was quickly surprised when Robert pulled his own gun. Robert shot the officer in the leg and was shot in the leg before escaping into the night in his apartment on 4th Street between North Rampart and South Saratoga. There he had his Winchester .38 rifle. When police, following the trail of blood, arrived at his apartment, Charles opened fire, killing 2 officers before escaping into the night in the apartment not far from Dryades Market, by the corner of present-day MLK and Aretha Castle Haley. For 3 days, as many as 1,000 whites roamed the streets, indiscriminately shooting and beating black people. Finally, on July 27th, Charles was located in a building on Saratoga Street in the Faubourg Lafayette, at which point the police and mob converged on the location and tried to go in. Robert refused to surrender. Armed only with a rifle, he kept a crowd of hundreds at bay for hours, ultimately shooting more than 20 white people and killing an additional 3. Finally, the police decided to simply set the fire to the building, and Charles shot himself in the head to end the standoff. While he may have died in battle, Robert Charles's name will live on forever as one of the most courageous black men of his time. He sacrificed his life because he knew that to die with his respect was better than to live having to be constantly disrespected, mistreated, and demeaned. An educated, respectful, ambitious black man that used his life to send the message that black is strong.